Today on Houston Life, we are hanging out with all our friends right here at the Houston Zoo.
Yeah, it's going to be a packed hour full of fun, animals, and lights.
We'll explore the Galapagos Islands by day.
And TXU Energy presents Zoo Lights by night. And we'll show you how you can get your hands on a masterpiece created by these guys. Woo!
All of that and much, much more on this very special edition of Houston Life.
From the Houston Zoo, Houston Life starts now.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this very special edition of Houston Life, coming to you from one of our favorite spots in town all season long, but especially during the holiday season. We're at the Houston Zoo, of course, and I'm Derek Shore.
I'm Tessa Bonetta, and you know what? There is always something fun and new to see at the zoo, but you're right, this time of year is especially special. So if you've never been to TXU Energy Presents Zoo Lights, oh my gosh, or maybe it's been a few years since you've been, now is really the time to come because the lights at night, they are better than ever.
And today, the temperature is perfect. This is
amazing.
one of the best things about living in Houston. It's so easy to have such a lovely evening here if you get your tickets early and you have a plan for getting here. So be sure to purchase your tickets online. They are not sold on site. And if you are a member of the Houston Zoo, you can save 20% on your Zoo Lights ticket when you buy through the Zoo Lights member portal. And educators, military, and first responders like firefighters and police can get 10% off their admission, which is great.
Yes, and you know, let's talk parking because the ground lots here at Herman, they really fill up at Herman Park. So if you're coming out, you want to make a plan for that. Now there are paid garages in the area, so look into that. You can also ride the Red Line Metro Rail, or the easiest option is really just to good old Uber, right? Use a ride share, Uber, Lyft. You can get dropped off right near the front entrance, and then you can just walk your way in right through the magic.
And those transportation tips, by the way, those apply during the day as well. So if you want to come out to see the animals, be sure you have a plan so you can spend a lot of time at the zoo. You want to maximize your time here. So,
Yes.
Of course, any day of the year is a great one to come out here. But did you know, Tessa, it's a very special day on December 20th because it is Go Caroling Day.
You know, it feels extra special, and you know, we love to celebrate anything, but we didn't want to scare the animals. So instead of us singing to them, we had them sing to us. Listen as we present the Houston Zoo Ensemble. That was awesome.
Absolutely adorable. And you are right, Tessa. The animals sounded better than we could have.
Just lovely, just lovely. Now, whether you come to the zoo during the day to see those awesome animals or at night to see the lights, the Houston Zoo is a great place to spend the holidays with your family and your friends.
It is true. I mean, it's a family tradition in our house. And our pals, Lauren Kelly and Anthony Yanez, are hanging out with us today, and they have found some fun. Guys, how's it going?
It's going great. Hey,
It's such a beautiful day.
Yes, I love this. You got the clouds, you got the shade. It's really fantastic. In fact, you've got one of the giant tortoises right here behind me. We are live at the Galapagos habitat. We are going to talk much more about this coming up in just a little bit. But Lauren, I know you did something just incredible with your family.
Look, I know Derek and Tessa just mentioned the zoo at night. TXU Energy presents Zoo Lights. It's one of my absolute favorite things to do in its 12th year here at the zoo. Anthony, you know that.
you love coming here. And look, I took my entire family. I'm talking my husband, my parents, my 7 nieces and nephews, and then some friends with us too. We had the most beautiful night because if you've never seen zoo lights, there's thousands and thousands of lights all throughout the entire zoo. Of course, the animals are sleeping at
You're
night,
right.
but we can see a few of our friends that are lit up in light form during zoo lights. And it's just so nice. You can have hot chocolate, you can have s'mores, and the kids love walking around in the snow,
Yes.
if you will.
Yep,
right here
that's
at the
right.
zoo. You can only place you can find snow here at the zoo, but it's such a magnificent thing to do for the entire family. And I feel like our friends here at the zoo, they just keep bringing it, and it gets bigger and better every single year.
They have an entire new area here that is just beautiful. So if you've gone in years past, you want to come back because there's so much new to see.
Absolutely, and I swear, I always want to know how many lights are set up around the zoo, and the only answer I ever get is a lot. It is a lot of lights. But it's definitely one of my favorite things. I know my family enjoyed, and I know that every guest that's ever been here loves coming out. A zoo favorite for sure.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Of course, we've got much more here at the Galapagos habitat coming up in just a little bit.
I'm excited, including penguins, right?
Yes.
Okay,
we've got
and
penguins.
tortoises.
Yes. Oh my.
Sounds good. Derek and Tessa, let's check back in with you
Oh my
guys.
goodness. All right, Anthony and Lauren, thank you so much.
Yeah, you know, and they're talking zoo lights. An event like that doesn't just happen overnight. So planning for next year will start as soon as this year's event wraps up. Isn't that incredible?
It's incredible, staggering, but when you've been to zoo lights, you realize it's a massive operation. Of course, when it comes time to install the lights, it takes time. A lot of people. Joining us now is the manager of event operations for the Houston Zoo, Wendy Babineau. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you all very much for having me.
Tell us about this process of when and how the lights first go up.
Okay, so it's really a year-round process. We begin planning for the next season. We're actually already planning for next season right now. So be expecting to see new things next year. The lights will start going up in the zoo as early as August. So there's a lot of planning that goes in beforehand, but come August 2024, you'll start seeing lights in the trees.
No idea.
Yeah, and Wendy, you know, even from one year to the next, it feels like you guys just take it up a notch every time. I mean, what keeps you guys going so creative? What kind of team are you working with that you're saying, okay, we have all the lights, but we're going to add more lights?
Well, we have an incredible team, and we work with pretty much everybody here at the zoo is part of the process in some way, shape, or form. So whether it's our team to the grounds and housekeeping team to the animal teams, everybody is involved in some way. And we have a great partner with Bright Lights of Houston who actually comes up with some great designs and great ideas for us. And then they come back to us. We kind of pick and choose what we like, and we do a lot of this based off of our guest feedback too.
That is fantastic, and it truly is beautiful and magical. We're seeing some images on our screen right now. Of course, Wendy, I'm the guy who walks into the zoo today, and I see you, and I say, Wendy, how many lights you got here? How many are there? They're so beautiful. How many? Obviously, you don't have an exact number, but do you have an estimate?
You know, estimate definitely more than a couple million. I would say if me and you right now started on one end of the zoo and the other, we might count them by New Year's.
By the end of our lives.
Maybe.
That's a good goal, a good resolution to have. And Wendy, you know what I really enjoy? That it's so Houston themed. So you'll have U of H, you'll have the Texas colleges, you'll have everything just so H-Town specific. And that has to come from some guest feedback.
Yes, absolutely. And we look at guest feedback on a weekly basis. So what our guests are telling us they like, even things that they don't like, we take all of that into consideration, and we want to make this event very, very specific to Houston, something that you're not going to be able to see if you go anywhere else.
We're out of time, but very quickly, I hear we can recycle our own Christmas lights?
Yes, absolutely. So at the front of the zoo, we have a bin, and you can really do this all year round, but during the zoo light season, bring any old lights, whether they work, whether they don't, we'll happily recycle them for you.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
Wendy Babineau, thank you so much. It's great to see you. And congrats on another beautiful year of Zoo Lights. TXU Energy presents Zoo Lights, runs through January 7th. They will be closed on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. The hours are 5:30 to 10:30. The last time to enter every single evening is 9:30 p.m.
Great information, as always, and games and selfies. Those are two of our favorite things. So listen, ahead on Houston Life, Anthony Yanez is going to take some young helpers on a selfie scavenger hunt. Where else? It's right here at the Houston Zoo.
And we're shopping for the holidays, whether you come in person or browse online, there are great, unique and last-minute gift ideas here at the Houston Zoo. We will show you some of them when Houston Life returns.
Welcome back to the special edition of Houston Life. For holidays, birthdays, or just because, the Houston Zoo, it's a great place to shop for unique gifts.
That's true. And someone who knows a thing or two about shopping is our very own Mel Kemp.
Derek and Tessa, yes, I do. And you know what? I have found some really good gift options here at the Houston Zoo. These guys might have something to do with it, but you know what? We may have missed the holiday shopping deadlines, but there are some great last-minute gifts that you can pick up at the zoo. Find something special for a special loved one. You know what? No matter what the occasion. Whether shopping for a loved one or for yourself, the Houston Zoo offers choices that go way beyond the in-person or online gift shops. Want a truly one-of-a-kind gift? Browse art created by the zoo's animals. A parrot Picasso, a Vincent van Gogh, or a rhino Rembrandt await. The masterpieces come on canvases or ornaments. Each stroke, each print creates a positively perfect present that comes with a photo of the animal artist. Want to give a closer encounter? There's a gift certificate for that. Give the gift of a behind-the-scenes tour of the elephant barn that includes a chance to touch or feed an adult elephant. There's also giant anteater, gorilla, and giant tortoise encounters. Every purchase, big or small, helps the zoo save wildlife by funding conservation projects around the world. Another way to help, give the gift of grub. A donation of $10 buys 1,000 crickets for Houston toads, $25 buys 2 bales of hay for rhinos, $50 covers the cost of 15 pounds of fish for the penguins, and $100 buys 30 pounds of meat for cougars. Need a last-minute gift? A zoo membership is just a click away. Woo, so those are some really great gift ideas, but check this out. Behind us, we have the sea lions who have started painting, and Jackie Wallace, I mean, this is something that is a very unique gift idea that you can give.
It really is. You can buy a painting that one of our animals has done. We have so many different Picassos here. Right now behind me, we have our sea lion colony, 3 of our members of our sea lion colony. In the middle is Jonah. We have Camilla over here with Krista, and with Michelle over here is Calypso, and they are doing some really amazing painting. This is...
Oh my gosh, in the middle is Love Hearts.
It is Love Hearts.
It.
So Jonah has... Amanda has put paint on his nose and he pressed it right against the canvas to make hearts. It's really precious. This is a really amazing form of enrichment. The sea lions, it doesn't matter to them that there's a paintbrush in their mouth, right? So they're enjoying this time with their team, the keepers. They're also learning to put unique things in their mouth. So when a keeper needs to come and look in their mouth and maybe brush their teeth, that's not unusual to them because they can put all kinds of things that their keepers ask.
Oh, wow.
They can have a dental exam. They can do all sorts of things because they're desensitized to their keepers asking them to hold something in their mouth.
Wow, it's amazing how much more. We think it's just something that looks fun and it's cute, but it's actually learning. It's actually growing them and their healthcare. Okay, so I want to know, I mean, we're looking for last-minute gift ideas.
Absolutely.
I mean, you could perhaps order a custom painting, but that might be a little bit too last-minute, but you already have pictures ready to go.
We do. So you go on our website, houstonzoo.org, see some of the options that are already there. If you want something custom, maybe you can just tell your gift recipient that it's coming to them. But yes, you can choose from one of our many artists online.
Oh my goodness. And it's not just the sea lions that paint.
Elephants do painting, goats paint, which is hilarious. Many of our other animals are otters. They'll walk through paint and drag it across penguin. It's really...
I think I need to get my mum an otter painting because she loves otters.
Yes, yes.
It's so amazing. You can get a painting from an animal that
100%.
someone special you know that they love.
That's right.
Oh, wow. It's so beautiful. And you know what? The keepers were telling me before that it's quite easy to train these guys because sea lions' nicknames are sea dogs.
Sea
You
dogs.
hear the little bark?
They do. First, they sound like they're barking when they make their noise. They also, yes, you're right, they are the sea dogs. They enjoy training with their keepers. They've created this incredible bond with each of their keepers and each of the sea lions, and it just is really fun to watch it unfold.
My goodness. It really is. I mean, if there's, this has got to be, everyone's looking for that unique gift idea, and I just think it doesn't get any more unique than this.
Nowhere else in Houston.
So it's so amazing. Zoo turns it up, as always, and brings amazing things. I mean, it's just so amazing. And you know what? These guys can make, on cue, can make some sound, make some noise. Hey, guys, thank you so much. What beautiful art. Derek, Tessa, I mean, that is a really, really cool holiday gift idea. What do you reckon?
I think it's brilliant. I love that sea lion spirit in the back. And yes, and the fact that there's art involved, I mean, I think that's a win-win-win situation.
It's beautiful. One of a kind indeed. Thanks, Mel.
But I am feeling a special kind of way because why does she get to hang out with the animals? Can we get some animal guests stopping by our set?
Yes, of course, Tessa.
Okay, I'm going to try to be patient.
Okay. Also, the lights, selfies, action. Anthony Yanez goes on a scavenger hunt through zoo lights. Houston Life from the Houston Zoo continues right after this. Welcome back to this very special edition of Houston Life. We are coming to you live from the Houston Zoo. I think it's time for a toast, Tessa.
I think so, because the weather's beautiful. The animals have been so cooperative with us. You know, no viral animal moments so far on the show.
The
but
animals are the cutest.
we're going to have some visitors, so it's crossing my fingers.
One of our first stops when my family and I come to the zoo every single year, one of our first stops is to get a round of hot chocolate for everyone. For the adults in the room, they do have some added shots you can put in these things. For the record, this is water today.
We are staying hydrated.
We are staying hydrated, but we still use our cups from the Houston Zoo every single year because it's such a fun memory. And as you heard earlier, there are literally millions and millions of lights out here at the Houston Zoo.
All of the lights, and the special edition cup is really nice. And you know, everything that the Houston Zoo is, like the paintings that Mel was selling, it's all going back toward conservation efforts for these animals that we just love so much. So, you know, again, another reason to come in and show your support. Houston Zoo, no other place like it on earth.
That's true. And from the very first time I came to the Houston Zoo back in 2016, this place has evolved so much. They are constantly expanding and growing. So if it's been a minute since you've been out to the zoo, you got to check it out. You can plan for a leisurely stroll through the lights, of course, but there's so much more than that.
Yeah, why would you want to just leisurely stroll when you can add a little twist? We're going to check out what Anthony did, what he and his family were really up to at the Houston Zoo.
I'm at the Houston Zoo and I have a selfie scavenger hunt. The assignment is to find the best lights here at the Houston Zoo. I brought my son and his 3 friends. Are you guys ready to do this? Yeah! Let's go! First thing we're gonna find is the 33-foot color charging holiday tree.
I found it!
Okay, we gotta do our selfie. You guys ready? Awesome. We need to find the elephant family lanterns and the snowy slopes. Here's snowy slopes. Ah, it snows. You guys, go in the snow. Okay, look at the camera, guys. What's next?
The elephant.
Okay, we got elephants next. Oh, this is beautiful.
I found it!
This is where I work. Our next item. Do you guys see it?
Oh, that one is right there.
Oh, look, the joy display. Nice. Since we found the s'mores station, guess what we get to do?
Eat them.
Let's go make some s'mores. Okay, Josh, I think yours is on fire. Graham cracker for the top. Show me your s'mores. Do you see the interactive dance floor? You see it? Oh, wow. Ready? Who found Santa?
Me.
There's Santa. We are going to find our next thing. So,
Enchanted Forest.
is that what you think it is?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's that?
This says it.
Oh. This is my favorite thing so far because I love the colors. Oh,
Yeah.
whoa. Check that out.
Butterfly.
This is my favorite light here. This is new. Awesome. Look at this. We got our final display marked off. Our peace, love, and joy. Good job, Kristen, Tristan, Josh, and MJ. Let's do one last selfie. Oh man, I mean, it was a blast. And I'll tell you, if you would like to take part in that scavenger hunt,
I do.
yes, you can go to HoustonLife.tv.
Okay.
And if you do that, you'll see the scavenger hunt, and it has the whole list.
Okay.
So you find the list, and then you go out, and you don't have to do selfies, but it's cool if you do. But you go out and you see, because it's the best lights.
Oh, you did all the work for us.
Yes.
You saw I brought like 15,000 people with me, so we need something to do the next time we come.
And it's such a blast. And as you saw, I did that with my son, who's 9 years old, and 3 of his friends, and they had a blast.
Yeah.
And so it was really incredible. And as you can see, we've moved now to the sea lion habitat.
It's a very popular place
Oh my
right
gosh,
here,
you
Anthony.
see all the people around taking all the pictures. And what's really cool about this, and you can see the sea lion here, they fly right over your head, and then there they go. So it's
I feel
pretty
like we're
incredible.
actually in their home, which we kind of are right now.
We're in the habitat, and of course we have a lot more that we're going to show you from the habitat. Talk about the giant tortoises coming up in just a little bit.
You
but
have
we did-
first-hand experience from the Galapagos. What a tough gig, Anthony.
Yes, I was there about a year ago, and so we're going to talk much more about that coming up.
All right, Derek and Tessa, back to you guys.
All right, Anthony and Lauren, it is so beautiful over there. Can you believe that? Talk about a great view.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to pivot now. Let's talk about babies. A brand new baby, always a reason to celebrate, right? And here at the Houston Zoo, a birth can be absolutely historic. So we're going to learn about the very special babies born here throughout 2023, still ahead.
Okay, and our Mel Camp discovers how the zoo prepares for winter. A lot to stick around for. There's much more when Houston Life continues from the Houston Zoo.
Welcome back to this very special edition of Houston Life, coming to you from the Houston Zoo. Of course, when you're caring for thousands of animals, you have to be prepared for whatever weather comes our way, and the Houston Zoo certainly is prepared.
And Mel Camp has learned all about that. Mel, no matter the season, the zookeepers and the animals, I mean, they basically know what to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, winter is upon us. It's all about staying warm and cozy. When the weather cools down, we start thinking about ways we can warm up, right? You know, turn up the heat, put on a few extra layers. But what do the animals at the zoo do to stay warm? That's when someone like Tara, who is the director of animal care, steps in and takes care of warming up the creatures here.
We sure do. Our animal care team does everything they can to make sure our animals are well cared for, happy, healthy, and thriving. And that includes making sure that they have all the weather things that they need. So animals, a lot of them will naturally grow thicker fur, kind of a more of a winter coat, so they put on their own jacket for us. And then we turn up the heat for them. So a lot of animals, so we have heaters installed here in our children's zoo in the farm area. And then we also have different heat lamps, bedrooms that are temperature controlled for our animals. So if it's too cold for them outside and we think that they won't be comfortable, we either will give them the option to stay inside or we'll just give them access to it so they can walk back and forth. So sometimes you won't see an animal on display because maybe it's a little bit chilly and it wanted to go inside and warm warm up for a little bit before it came back out. When a lot of times when the sun is out and it warms up a little bit, that's when they start coming out and really laying in the sun and kind of basking and getting nice and warm that way. We are very intentional about what animals that live here at the zoo to make sure that we can give them all the things that they need to thrive and be really happy and healthy. So that's one of the things we do in our collection planning is we look at an animal and say, do we think they will be okay with this temperature, and can we provide them all the things that they need for that? So that's why you won't see some really cool animals like polar bears. You won't see those here, but you can see some amazing animals like chimpanzees and gorillas because we can provide all of the things for them.
And so these guys who are standing in the yard behind us, they really do have a big, fluffy coat.
Yes, they do.
How big and fluffy does he get during winter, and then what do they look like in summer comparatively?
So they will grow a thick coat, but then animals are really cool and they will have the ability to actually move their skin and kind of fluff out some of their fur and trap air closer to their body to keep cooler. Birds will do that same thing. So sometimes you'll see them, they grow thick fur and then they'll fluff it out when it's really, really cold. You'll see them do that, and sometimes they'll just be a little bit slimmer. So our llamas here will shed throughout the year, but llamas get a really thick fur. They are built for really tough weather. So in the summer, when it gets really warm, we help her out and we will shear her similar to a sheep so she can be nice and cool, and then she'll start to grow her winter coat back.
So let's talk about some of the specific animals at the zoo. What ones have the biggest change to keep themselves warm during winter as the weather changes?
Some of the animals do brumations. If you think of like a hibernation, it's similar. So reptiles will either bury themselves underground, any of that sort of stuff. For tortoises here at the zoo, we of course will provide them with all the warmth that they need. So they don't necessarily always brumate, but then they just kind of slow down and they eat a little bit less and they're a little less active. And then our black bears go into what's called a torpor, where it's very similar. They slow down and they just are very sleepy, very classic what you think of bears, and they just kind of are a little bit more sluggish, but they still do get up and move around and eat. Therefore, it's not like a true hibernation for them, but we notice a big difference in that. And as a matter of fact, our black bears, we know what to feed them based off the season as to how much food they're going to need and how much food they're going to consume, because they bulk up right before that, and then they really will, we skim down because they don't eat as much.
That's really interesting. Yeah. Are there any changes that humans make that are similar to, I mean, do we go into, I'm trying to think if we do. I mean, everyone kind of slows down a little in winter.
Right, well, and then, you know, probably spend a little bit more time inside because the weather's not as comfortable, which, I mean, here in Houston, we also probably do that over the summer. But, you know, like if there's a big snowstorm outside, maybe you wouldn't want to spend your day outside, so you'll probably stay inside and maybe be less active, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I think it probably translates. And also there's, you know, great holiday TV to watch.
Exactly, bring that on. Do the zoo animals like some holiday movies?
You know what? They might.
They might. What do you think, guys? Well, that is absolutely amazing, Tara. Thank you so much.
Of course, you're so welcome.
So awesome.
I can't decide which one's my favorite.
I know, they're so cute, and especially when they get all fluffy for winter. You know, put on their own little winter coats.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, listen, joining us now is Brian Stuckey with a little guy, or girl actually. Her name is Gidget. She has her own winter routine. Brian, thanks so much for spending some time with us. This is one of your ambassador animals.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this chinchilla.
This is Gidget, and I wanted to start off by talking about the enclosure she's in right now. This is her choice box, more or less. She decided to come in this in order to come out. I didn't pick her up and put her in. I offered her a raisin. She hopped in. She's keeping the lid on for this segment because she's still a little shy. This is actually her debut.
TV debut!
She's going to be famous. She's going to be a star.
And she loves the winter, actually. She is all about the winter. She loves the cold. As soon as it gets to the point where I'm putting on 2 jackets, she's ready to go outside.
That's so cool. And I understand she was born back in 2017?
Yes, she was born back in 2017, so she's probably like teenage years now. And she actually, speaking of the winterizing, her coat is incredibly thick. That's how she keeps so warm in the cold weather. She actually has 100 hairs per pore all over her body.
Wow.
Same.
Wow. She looks so fluffy and soft. She looks beautiful.
The more hair you have, the softer you are.
So what happens, I mean, we talk about winterization, but in summer, do you have to do something special? I mean, now's her season. She loves it. But in summer, you guys would have to do something
Yes,
different.
in summer, we actually will have to keep her inside. She needs the AC as much as we do, if not more. So she's kind of just a winter exhibits animal. She's the one who's going to come out for events and education opportunities, anything like that. She's the one who's going to be seeing this time of the year, and then our reptiles and our amphibians, they get to shine in the summer when they have more sun.
Brian, you work with so many animals. I mean, you talk mammals, you were talking about reptiles. What's the most rewarding part of all of this?
I think one of the most rewarding parts is just seeing that connection that people make whenever you're talking about an animal, and you can actually see that glint in their eye when they know and understand the importance of the animals, the importance of seeing them here and saving them in the wild.
Yeah, and it's like we all know what a chinchilla is, but we have one in a box next to us, and it is mesmerizing. We're so intrigued. We love Gidget. We love her flying nuts.
She is beautiful, and I would have thought she was a rabbit had I not seen that long, long tail. Brian Stuckey, thank you so much for your time, and thanks for your work here at the zoo.
Yes, thank you very much for coming.
And thank you, Gidget.
Thanks, Gidget.
She's adorable.
Thanks, Gidget.
She's a little shy.
Okay, so she's like a teenage animal. Let's talk baby animals, okay? Need I say more? That's what's coming up.
Yeah, also, Anthony Yanez will share some of his journey to the Galapagos Islands.
Yes, and hey, it is lunchtime here at the Houston Zoo. Check out the Humboldt penguins. We'll talk about them as well as our trip to the Galapagos.
I can't wait to hear about it, Anthony. More Houston Life live from the zoo is coming up next.
Welcome back to Houston Life at the Houston Zoo. Now, we've shown you the Galapagos habitat here at the Houston Zoo. It's really one of a kind.
It is so beautiful. Everything in it represents what you'd actually see if you were to travel to the islands, just like Anthony Yanez.
Yep.
I know he was so lucky to get to do that. And speaking of Anthony, he and Lauren are back with us now. What's up, y'all?
Okay, I just have to point out really fast, Anthony, you got to go to Galapagos for work. What a tough gig. What a tough assignment.
You know, I tell you what, it was incredible because what a lot of people don't know is that the Houston Zoo has had a relationship with the people of the Galapagos Islands going back about 20 years. And so we got to be a part of their trip about a year and a half ago where we got to see that partnership, that conservation work. And so when we got back to Houston, we got to see everything we did for that week straight. We put together a 1-hour show. And it came out incredible.
You brought so many facts, so many fascinating things. I just love all your photos and videos. I would love for our viewers to take a look.
Yes, we've got a short little snippet that we want to show you right now.
Here there are birds with blue feet, tortoises with giant shells, penguins that don't live in snow, and iguanas that swim. But amid the unique landscape and wildlife, something else stands out. A truly remarkable collaboration is taking place. The Ecuadorian government, the Galapagos National Park System, people who live here, and supporters from around the world are all working together to save and restore the islands.
And one of the most enjoyable things about coming to Galapagos for me is the people that I know here and being able to collaborate on the preservation of the species here.
In our travel group, the Houston Zoo Senior Veterinarian Dr. Joe Flanagan and the zoo's Senior Director of Conservation Education, Melissa Wong.
Our approach to saving animals in the wild is to find the experts that are doing it and lift them and strengthen their work and support them.
The Houston Zoo provides funding to support Freddy Cabrera, who runs a program to save giant tortoises, and Lady Diana Marquez, who has earned the zoo's Wildlife Warrior Award.
Tell me when it all started, the whole I love animals and I want to do this for the rest of my life.
When I was a kid, then both of my parents were working at the Charles Darwin Station, so my brother and I grew up kind of in contact with nature all the time.
From a young age, Galapagonian children learn the importance of protecting the environment. Now, Lady and her colleagues are making sure the love they develop for the wildlife sticks with them for life.
Since you started this program, how many kids have gone through it?
Yeah, around 10,000.
Ana Maria Luz began what's now Fundación Icos more than a decade ago after teens came to her.
They wanted to do more to save Galapagos, and they asked me, Ana Maria, we want to do more.
Since then, thousands of youth have been taught to protect our world. Some go on to make it their life's work.
My name is Christopher Joel Arica Jimenez. I am a Galapagos Park Ranger.
Joel learned how to save wildlife through the group's Mola Mola Eco Club. Now, 10 years later, he's a park ranger.
So he is the bright shining star here.
Sentía una pasión hacia los animales.
I had a passion for animals, for plants, but I didn't know how to help until I met the Ecology Club, a club that opened the doors for me.
Without the Houston Zoo support, we couldn't do this kind of thing.
To see the Houston Zoo's support for ourselves, we first flew to Baltra Island and took a ferry to Santa Cruz. This island is home to one of the most populated towns. Here you'll find people and wildlife living side by side. But most of Galapagos isn't like this. 97% of the area is marked off as national parks. Despite only 3% of the islands being developed, this unique and inspiring place is at risk. While here, we explore the land.
So what I really love about this walk is that we get to see the red-throated lava lizard.
See animals so protected they can't be removed from the islands, and learn about specific wildlife-saving projects from teens making them happen, like Valeria and Isabella, who are just beginning their own conservation journey.
Es chévere pertenecer a estos clubs. It's cool to belong to these clubs where we learn and also interact and meet more people.
The Houston Zoo's own Eco Club Zoo Crew gives teens the opportunity to work and learn alongside zoo staff and collaborate with teens in other parts of the world to make a bigger impact.
That's what's going to make this world a better place, right? Are all of these just passionate, highly skilled, collaborative young adults that are finding ways to work together. They're looking for the experts to coach them and mentor them. And to see that happening in real life has been pretty impressive.
Wow.
Yeah, incredible.
Wow.
Yes. And if you haven't seen our 1 hour special, you can watch it. All you have to do is go to click2houston.com/conservation.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a favorite part of that trip?
The giant tortoises were incredible.
Yeah.
You know what it was? It's almost like taking a step back in time because, as I was mentioning in the package, 97% of the Galapagos is basically just wildlife.
Wow.
So there's no homes, there's no businesses, there's
Right.
nothing. So it's almost like it's just untouched. But what's incredible about the Houston Zoo, if you come out, you get a sample of what it's like because what you get is a representation. So as you can see behind me, these are the Humboldt penguins. These are not the Galapagos penguins. The Galapagos penguins are the only penguin that actually lives north of the equator.
Okay.
And so because of the water currents, what it's believed or speculated, the theory is those cold currents from the Antarctic moved up toward the Galapagos, and then they started living there because it's actually warm on the equator compared to what you're seeing
Now,
in the
these
Arctic.
penguins are living, this is cold water as well, correct?
Yes, and these are the Humboldt penguins because you're not allowed by law to bring Galapagos penguins anywhere in the world. You can't do it. So these represent those penguins, and it's the same thing with the marine iguanas. You do not have the marine iguanas here.
So speaking from personal experience, so this looks exactly like your experience from the real thing,
Yes,
right?
to even the white. Do you see the white?
Yes.
The white represents bird poop.
Wow, and so that's like the real
it
outdoors.
looks just like, and then do you also see the crabs?
The crabs, yeah, I thought those were real.
Right, they're just models, but they're that same vibrant color that's in the Galapagos.
Wow.
So it really is, when you come here, you really do get a feel of what the Galapagos is all
What
about.
a trip. I'm so glad that you brought us back all that fun
It was
info.
great, and I'm glad I'm here back at the zoo with you and being able to share this again.
And one of the most popular spots, the penguins. I mean, Derek and Tessa, how cute are these guys?
Yes.
They're so active today.
They're super cute, but also how fascinating. Anthony, your trip looks incredible. I highly recommend, by the way, watching that entire special. It's on our website.
And how lucky are we that we get to have our resident Galapagos expert who can tell us, who can confirm, hey, this is what it's really like.
He is a wealth of knowledge. Well, by the way, you can support the zoo's conservation work by just coming out here or doing things at home or work like recycling paper and plastic or electronics.
But here's something I'm learning. Did you know you can also recycle your holiday lights? That's right. If you have a strand, like we do right here, that no longer works, you can drop them off in a collection bin. It's right at the front of the Houston Zoo. Pretty cool thing they're doing just to make sure we can conserve some of our planet here.
I was going to use those lights to decorate your desk, but since they don't work, we are recycling them right here at the Houston Zoo.
Gonna put them in my hair.
All right. Well, it is baby's first Christmas at the Houston Zoo.
Okay, up next, the very special Bundles of Joy, why their births are so special. I cannot wait. Hurry up, commercial break. Houston Life will be right back. Welcome back to Houston Life. If you didn't know it, this year the Houston Zoo had So many reasons to celebrate. So babies of all shapes and sizes were born right here.
Yeah, and every single one represents the zoo's commitment to conservation. Our friend and coworker, Justina Latimer, got to spend some time with some of the zoo's youngest residents.
It's baby's first Christmas at the Houston Zoo. The zoo had several gifts arrive throughout the year.
What makes them so special? These guys are our baby radiated tortoises that hatched out 9 months ago. We have Dill here, and then Jalapeno, and then we have one more, which is Gherkin. They are pretty famous. They're the baby pickles.
This tiny trio of tortoises is the offspring of Mr. Pickles, the zoo's oldest resident. At 91 years old, Mr. Pickles became a dad for the first time.
This year for Christmas, they're going to be on exhibit for the first time.
The sounds of the season at the Houston Zoo this year also include a new voice.
So this is the Madagascar sacred ibis.
The zoo made history by successfully incubating and hatching her.
She is the first Madagascar sacred ibis chick we have had hatch out in North America.
Less than 3,000 are believed to be left in the wild.
She's about 2 months old.
Until she's ready to join the flock at the zoo, caretakers cover their faces and hands when feeding her.
To make sure she doesn't get too attached to us.
Fully grown, the species can have a wingspan of up to 4 feet. For now, she's making a statement with her personality.
She is very noisy. These are white-cheeked gibbons. They are actually lesser apes. Marv is our very first white-cheeked gibbon that we've had here.
Born 5 months ago, this energetic guy keeps his parents and zookeepers busy.
They're very smart, so we have to work with them.
What would you say to the little guys who are coming out to see this little guy?
They're so active all the time. Just watching them is such a fun experience. It's just really exciting to see such an endangered animal get to be produced here.
Oh my goodness, y'all. You have to get out to the Houston Zoo if you were not planning a trip. And in the meantime, Tessa and I are trying to keep it together. We're about to lose our minds. We're so excited. We have Mel Hodges. She's the herpetology keeper here at the Houston Zoo. And you have brought Jalapeno, Dill, and Gherkin today.
Here.
These are brand new tortoises born in February. Is that right?
Yes. Yep. February 14th, they hatched.
They were Valentine's Day babies. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're trying to focus here, but we have heard so much about how you specifically are a part of their story. You found these babies' eggs.
Yes, it was October 7th, 2022. I wasn't even supposed to be closing that night. I switched with someone, and I closed, went out to their yard, saw Mrs. Pickles laying some eggs, and then a few months later, these guys happened.
So had you not seen Mrs. Pickles depositing those eggs, these little ones might not be here.
No, she buried them very deep. It was about 6 inches, and they happened.
Oh my God, they sure did. And how significant is that for the zoo? I mean, obviously it's wonderful, but what has this meant for the zoo, the birth of these cuties? Oh my gosh, they're so cute.
So why they're so important, radiated tortoises are critically endangered. Mr. Pickles is actually #1 in the stud book. That's the record of all the radiated tortoises. So his genes are highly important, and these are his first offspring.
Incredible.
Wow.
We're just about out of time. It's amazing that they were born in February. They're still so small. They won't stay small. About what point in life will they start getting large like their
Several
parents?
years from now, they hatched at 20 grams. They now weigh over 100 grams. Their parents weigh 20 pounds. So
wow.
So they were a
years from
fifth
now.
this size when they hatched.
Mel, it has been a pleasure to have and to hold these little babies. And as much as I don't want our time with the Pickles babies to end, I have heard that some sweet treats are coming our way.
Yes, but first we are going to take a quick commercial break. We will be back with more from the Houston Zoo coming up right after this. Bye, Baby Dill.
Say bye, Gherkin.
Hey, it is a beautiful day to have some s'mores out here at the Houston Zoo. There's a bit of competition. Hey, y'all, I didn't realize that when you purchase your zoo tickets online, there's an add-on available. So you get your s'mores voucher when you're buying those tickets, and then you can enjoy a sweet treat.
Let me tell you something. We did this with the kiddos when we came to Zoo Lights the other night. It is so cute, and they come out so delicious. I mean, who doesn't love a s'more?
Can confirm they are delicious. And the funnel cake fries and the paintings, it's all very delicious.
Can y'all believe the size of those tortoises there?
So they were so
Massive, hundreds of
so
pounds.
cute.
No, the babies were tiny.
Oh, the baby one. Sorry. Sorry.
But it's amazing that they
I was focused on the s'mores. Sorry.
We're all focused on something different, but there's something for everyone at the Houston Zoo, day or night. I mean, it's really up to you. How can you not come now?
Okay, Anthony's marshmallow is the only one that's getting any
marshmallow for you. Give it to me.
Here's your graham crackers.
Yeah,
Let's get some chocolate. Maybe teamwork.
Slow and steady wins the race. Well, and again, we have said this so many times, but if it's been a while since you've been out to the Houston Zoo, come on out. There is always something new to see and enjoy and experience. That Galapagos exhibit is absolutely beautiful. Anthony, I want to know more about your trip, but our show is just about over. So buy your tickets online.
We got to
Galapagos.
We got to Galapagos here. Come on.
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see y'all tomorrow.